back, everyone. Playoff roster eligibility is today, August 31st. We're going to talk about those decisions, play the Pirates, and we'll expand rosters for September after that. Standings on the screen, we've gone 17 and 11 since our last stream. The NL Central is ours. Anything can happen in the NL wildcard, though. The Reds are being chased by 3 teams. You still can't even count out the Pirates or the Giants either, sitting 6 games back. So we did something fun, made some interesting history this year. Back in May, Arthur Rhodes accomplished the rare feat of 4 strikeouts in 1 inning against the Cubs. Out of the Park Baseball doesn't track this to my knowledge, but in real life, this has happened 90 times, and only 29 of those were in 1996 or prior. I'd love to see this get tracked in OOTP 23. If you guys are listening out there, we get career records, season records, and game records, but no inning records. So let's get some inning records. Here's where it gets more fun. On August 11th, Brian Harvey, also an Astro, did the same thing. This has happened twice in real life where 2 pitchers from the same team struck out 4 batters in an inning in the same season. That was a whole mouthful. This happened in 2015 and 2021, but it doesn't mean anything here because we don't care about real life. So I'll go ahead and claim this is the first time that that's happened in Major League history. So my question for you all, has anyone else ever done anything like this in their save or seen anything else like this in their save? Or has anyone struck out 5 in an inning in their save? Would love to hear about it in the comments if you've got any stories. On to the Astros. We're still top in the NL in runs scored, but really slumping. We've only scored actually less than 4 runs a game so far in August. Our pitching's been better than normal, but the end result is we actually got outscored in August. That 16-11 record's pretty lucky. Some weirdly happy news is that Larry Butcher got injured, and I know that's weird, but it's kind of a positive because it gives us a lot of roster flexibility for the postseason. We were going to have to find a way to sneak him off the roster, hopefully when a guy like Don Strange to get hurt, so it was going to work. But we don't even have to worry about him being on the postseason roster now. We got way more flexibility, and he's still the captain. He can captain his way with whatever injury he has just sitting in the clubhouse. So that works out just fine for us. Pitching staff, these stats are filtered to August only. The Mike Schooler experience has not been good. It appears to be bad luck in defense, though. If you look at his .416 BABIP, and his FIP still is quite good. Shane Reynolds continues to be Mr. Reliable. Pete Harris's down year continues, but it hasn't been that bad in August. And Edgardo Vasquez is rounding into form after missing the first half of the season. So, okay on the starting pitching front. Bullpen, however, has still been phenomenal. Gabby Rodriguez, Ron Way, and Brian Harvey all made it through August without giving up a single earned run. And the others weren't bad at all either. The bullpen, this should be a huge weapon for me in the playoffs. And then this is all without Don Strange, who got hurt again, but he'll be fine for October. Question really is, who am I going to cut from the playoff roster? I want to carry both lefties. I want to carry 2 lefties anyway. So that's Rodriguez and Way probably in. So do I leave off Sadecki? Do I leave off Strange, Grimes, a position player, and go extra heavy in the bullpen? It's going to be a tough call. Don't have to make it today. That's for next episode. So on the lineups front, we posted some pretty ugly numbers here. Only 3 players posted a WRC plus, weighted runs created plus, higher than 100. And 2 of them are reserves. So Chris Hoyles, Chad Townsend, Andrew Jones, and David Justice all swung the bat really poorly in August. Jeff Manto took the prize, though, with a -9 WRC plus. Thank heavens for Barry Bonds. It would have been a really ugly month without him doing his usual Barry Bonds things. But even with him, it's been kind of a miracle we won as many games as we did. And there's so hopefully that luck continues, or better, hopefully we just start to hit. There is one small roster change to share here. You may not recognize one name, and it's Esteban Beltre. We got him through waivers in July from the Padres, and then we were able to sneak him back through waivers and stash him in AAA because he had no options left. Outside of a hot streak he had early this season with the Padres, he doesn't hit a lick, but he plays really great infield defense all across the infield, runs well, good personality traits. He's a leader. He's a prankster by definition. So if he can stay healthy, he can be pretty useful in the playoffs as a pinch runner or as a defensive replacement. Maybe, different games, both, either one of those. And he's a suitable backup for A-Rod at shortstop if he needs a breather for September. So that leaves off Tim Bogar. I actually came close to releasing him, but I couldn't quite free up enough money to eat his contract in this year's budget. So was going to leave him on the roster, but a good reminder to you all and to myself, just because a player can refuse a minor league assignment doesn't mean he will refuse it. It finally dawned on me to try it, just demote him, and he accepted it. So sorry you're angry in AAA, Tim, but you accepted the assignment. Although I think he was angry beforehand because I've been trying to trade him for over a year. In any case, while he's in AAA, I'm training him at second base because if I do keep him around, I think with those ratings, he should end up being a pretty strong second baseman. Maybe he can actually make himself useful next year as a defensive replacement because Ray Durham has an awful, awful glove. All right. I mentioned A-Rod a few minutes ago. We still haven't come to contract terms. Resumed negotiations. Nope, didn't go so well. So my counter was actually just a modest 10% reduction in what he wanted. But I guess in some cases you just have to give him exactly what they want or no deal. He's being generous to say his what he's asking for is a lot less, in fact, what he was going to get in arbitration over the next couple of years. So I'm really hoping to get a deal done here. In news around baseball, Frank Thomas hit for the cycle against the Rangers. He's got a good shot at the American League MVP this season. Tony Fernandez reached 2,500 career hits for the Expos. Bill Swift collected win number 150 against the Mets. As it stands now, we would face him and the Dodgers in the NLCS. But there's someone we won't be facing. It's Greg Swindell, who's out through next season with a torn UCL. He is a tough pitcher, and the Dodgers will miss him, and we will not. And Matt Lawton's out too, just for the regular season though. But I don't want to assume here. They only lead the Padres by 3 games, so making the postseason is not an automatic. And then moving to some former Dodgers, Pedro Guerrero finally got hurt. It was only a matter of time. He's back soon, but it's a tough road to the finish line for the Reds, particularly since another injury is hitting them. Fernando Valenzuela's hurt again. Major arm injury this time. So both of the Reds' former Dodger Dynasty members are on the shelf. Too bad to see Valenzuela hurt. This probably ends his chance at 300 wins. And then moving on to the Pirates, who we play today. They're pretty boring and average for this year anyway. Losing free agent acquisition Kenny Lofton after just 5 games did not help their cause very much. He had post-concussion syndrome. And they got a lot of Astros on their team too, former Astros. Sid Bream, Derek Bell, Ryan Klesko, and Jason Schmidt are all players that they acquired from me, although Derek Bell was through free agency. And they also have Ivan Calderon and Glenn Braggs, who I had all the way back in my San Diego days. So, pretty boring for this year, but there's a lot to like in this franchise. They've got the number 7 minor league system in baseball, and they've got a young starting rotation that's already dequalified themselves from prospect status, including Jason Schmidt. Could be a pretty dangerous rotation in future years. And for fun, they have Royal Thomas. They just got him off of waivers from the Mets, and you're like, who is Royal Thomas? He was the 1989 NLCS Game 7 hero for the Mets against the Astros as a 19-year-old. He was added to the playoff roster because of an injury during the season. So he took the Mets to the World Series, although they lost to the Royals in the World Series. And the other cool thing about the Pirates, it's got this cool new guy named Derek Jeter. He's their first baseman. Kevin Elster is signed for 3 years on pretty big money at shortstop, so Jeter's near-term future looks like either second base or first base, and right now it seems like the Pirates are choosing first base. Interesting. Today's games. The big matchup in the National League is the Braves traveling to the Cubs. Both of them are chasing the Reds for the wild card. And then in the AL, we'll keep an eye on Detroit hosting Kansas City. The Yankees and the Angels face off in a potential ALCS matchup, but this game doesn't really matter much. The AL's pretty much closed out with the Rangers, Angels, Yankees, and Royals very, very likely to be the 4 playoff teams. So that's what's up today. We'll check on these games after. Let's go to Three Rivers and get out of this slump. Pirates are going with Paul Wilson, young 23-year-old rookie. At the beginning of the season, he was the number 54 prospect in baseball, so part of that good young talent pool they have. We got the first 2 on, but we get Bonds. Oh, double play by Hoyles. Promising start to the first. And we're going with Shane Reynolds. Again, been Mr. Reliable. Long-time Astro in real life, too. 14-4. He's got an ERA under 4, which in this era is very nice. Andrew Jones has a base hit. We're going to get our first look at Esteban Beltre, the new acquisition. Oh, look at that. He's got an infield hit, and he didn't get injured. At least we turn the lineup over. There's Derek Jeter. And he's making us look bad already. He's probably going to hit 3. Got an RBI opportunity for Dave Berg now. And he's got it. He's going to have extra bases, too. And Elster puts it into the gap, but Andrew Jones has got pretty good range out there. All right, falling behind. Streak slump might be continuing. They're still not scoring any runs. Another easy 1-2-3 inning for Wilson. Here's Derek Bell, one of the many former Astros, and they're just gapping us to death here. Or that was down the line. And he scores as Hoyles throws it into left field. It's usually not an encouraged behavior. Alright, so an unearned run for the Pirates. I don't know if it matters if we continue to not hit like this. Done in the 4th. This feels a lot like the 94 Astros team that just couldn't score a lick. We finished last in the NL in runs. Jeter's 2 for 2.
Strike 3, you're out.
Okay, Reynolds is trying to keep us in it. Beltre trying to bunt for a hit. Sherman's got 2 hits. Probably be a good time to steal. Durham's 0 for 2. We had that walk in the first. Paul Wilson comes up. He's just taking care of business on the mound. Reynolds is hanging in there pretty good. Just need to figure out, like, remember how to hit guys. Hoyles just continues to suck. They all do. I don't know why I'm singling out Hoyles. Except for Bonds. And Jeffrey's just thrown out stealing. We're getting shut out. We have a month to figure this mess out. Nice double play turned by Beltre. Jeter's 3 for 3. And he steals second. Couple on for Dave Berg. And Reynolds is out of it again. Somebody do something. There we go. It's a home run by Chad Townsend. He hasn't done that very often lately. I'm going to say he was at like 25 by the All-Star break. He's really slowed down. So we're within a run. And we're going to pull Reynolds from the game. David Justice has himself a base hit as a pinch hitter. Get Sherman. All right, Gabby Rodriguez, one of the guys on the big hot streak. Holden, we got a couple innings to try and do something. They're going to keep Paul Wilson in the game? Yes, they are. Is that going to fall? Nope, we got it. Sherman's got the catch. All right, we got 6 outs. Do something. It's pretty deep into center. No go. Bonds, not a fun day. Hoyle's just a mess right now, too. All right. Rodriguez stays in the game. And we can't get Derek Jeter out. And Quentin McCracken lines out to first. Last chance. Jeffries, Townsend, Andrew Jones, A-Rod potentially too. That's a good start. Chad Townsend is bunting. How about that? How about that? I don't know what we're doing. I ain't mad. All right, A-Rod. Oh my goodness, A-Rod hits it out. 2-run homer, and we're in the lead off Royal Thomas, the hero from '89. That's kind of a fun story. All right. This ought to be... Oh, it's not? Okay, it's not Harvey. It's Wetland. Harvey. Yeah, I guess Harvey's resting today. All right, let's get Wetland to save. It's 2 outs. And Sid Bream, who we got. We pull off a win. Alex Rodriguez saves the day. Pay that man his money. He did it for us. Chad Townsend pitched in with this 31st homer of the season. Not much going on other than that. Happy we won, but the offensive slump continues. Derek Jeter was unstoppable for the Pirates. 3 hits and a walk. The rest of our lineup didn't do much. Shane Reynolds kept us in the game through 6 innings, and the bullpen was our weapon as always. Gabby Rodriguez held him for 2 innings and picks up the win, and Wetland gets his 18th save of the season. And kudos to youngster Paul Wilson on the other side. 8 strong innings, just 1 run allowed, struck out 8, player of the game. But the Astros get a little measure of revenge against Royal Thomas. It's not quite the NLCS, but it's some entertainment nonetheless. In the other National League games, the Braves beat the Cubs 8-5. Rudy Pemberton had 3 hits, including his 20th home run of the season, and Jeremy Burnitz hit his 40th. The Reds rally in the 8th to beat the Marlins, and the Dodgers, Padres, and Giants all won to keep pace both in the West and in the wild card. Brian Giles hit 2 home runs for the Dodgers in their win over the Phillies. In the American League, Tigers got blown out by the Royals. Corey Powell hit his 37th homer in that game. Brett Saberhagen outduels Mike Hampton to deliver a 3-2 win for the Angels against the Yankees. And in the minors, Trace Coquillette has a 20-game hitting streak for AA Jackson. Picked up a minor injury in the process, but he's hitting .350 down there, 18 homers and 156 weighted runs created plus. He's only rated the 189th prospect in baseball, but this looks like an interesting profile to me. The issue is the defense. His second base rating is nearly identical to Ray Durham's, so it looks like he'll probably pick up a little bit for more rating points at second base. But if you know Ray Durham, he can't field. So that'll always be the trick with Coquillette if he does have a future with us. Now, as for the pennant races, here's what they look like. In the American League, the Royals, the Angels, and the Royals, the Angels, and the Rangers are all pretty much in. They haven't clinched, but it's pretty much done and dusted. The Yankees shouldn't have much work left to get rid of the Tigers in the East. They got 7.5 games, 98+% chance of pulling off the division there. And then on the National League side, the Expos and our Astros are pretty much in. The Dodgers still have that 3-game lead in the West. And the Reds, due to today's fortunes, are now a 50-50 shot to win the wild card, with all those other teams spreading the rest of it out. Our win over the Pirates did a lot of damage to their playoff hopes, although admittedly they were already faint. And all the divisions are pretty much, except for the NL West, pretty much settled. So let's jump ahead to September 1st. Some awards. Frank Thomas is the AL Player of the Month in August, and Jason Giambi won that award for the National League. Steve Avery is the AL Pitcher of the Month, and he's on track for his 3rd Cy Young Award. And then Andy Ashby wins it in the National League. He really couldn't find a place in the Tigers rotation early in his career, and he ended up with the Marlins in the expansion draft and led the league in losses 2 years in a row. But now he's found himself a good spot with the pennant-chasing Padres. So let's look at our roster now. We've expanded, starting with the rotation. Mike Sorotka and Doug Malicki are going to join our rotation to give our other starters some more rest in between their starts. And then we're calling up Rich Garces, Mike Holtz, and Sean Purdy to take up spots in the bullpen. We've set our fatigue to 100%, so everyone that pitches will just pretty much get the same amount of time. I want everyone fresh. I just don't want anyone getting rusty at the same time, and when you've got a 12.5 game lead, you can afford to do stuff like this. I also realized that before I said that these stats were filtered to August before I played the game. They definitely were not. I did some kind of a glitch. So here are August's final tallies if you want to pause and take a look. On the hitting side, we made 3 call-ups. Jim Baxter, the catcher, Micah Franklin, who's one of our prospects, and Tim Bogar is back. Like with my bullpen, nobody plays unless they're 100% rested. And like before, here are August stats for the hitters. So that is a wrap for today. Still doing other videos. Just did the one for this weekend. Got a couple other things planned, so keep a lookout for that. This might be the last save of the regular season, assuming we'll see. It just comes down to that last weekend. If it comes down to the last day for the National League wild card, I'll do a stream or a video for the end of the regular season. Otherwise, I'm gonna see you guys for the playoffs. We'll see who we're taking on in the NLDS. If you like the content, please do me a favor and others a favor and give the video a thumbs up and help others find it. And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed yourself, and we'll see you again for the next one.